Okay, we should be live. I think. Hello? Let me check in Creator Studio. Come on. Okay, we are live. Sweet. What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. First in the house was Coalition Gaming Chris. What up, Chris? How you doing? Staying 2007. Hello, hello, hello. What up, Giant Robots? What up, Kale130? Staying dealing with some GER, aka gastroesophageal reflux with his little one. He's talking a little bit of babies in the chat. What up, Extreme Zone? Hello. What up, Craig Lilly? How goes it? Hello, Scott Gordon. Can't believe you made it, let alone made it early. You are going to catch the entire stream, hopefully, if you don't have to leave early. But hello. How you doing, Scott? So today I do want to check out some pre-builds just based on some conversations we had in the last couple of streams. Though, where's MT at? Or MS? The person who we recommended a Sky... Jesus. why do I want to say Skyforge all the time? Skytech. Cat got my tongue. But yeah, the Skytech gaming PC. I don't know if he posted in the Discord the status of it that came in and it's working with no problems. But hopefully we get a check-in on that one. Skytech, yes. Skyforge, isn't that a game? Or maybe... No, there is a Skyforge PCs. Okay, I don't know why I confused myself with them. I thought Skyforge was it is a game. Yes, it's an MMO. I've played Skyforge. That's why I was thinking of it. What up, Ellie? Hello, we got Batman in the house. Oh my goodness, we have the Batman. What up, Batman? What up, Man Stan? What up, Tony? We got Tech Blacksmith in the house. Another Tony. We got two different Tonys. Tony Dung and Tony Martinez. What up, Techie Tech? Hello, Blob from Poland. 100... Wait, what? Is it really 100 in Oregon? Let me look up Oregon weather real quick. 96. So I'm sure there's some places that are very hot in Oregon. Yeah, it is not as bad where I am. It's 87. We fortunately have AC. If anything, okay, the basement is so cold. I'm actually running a tiny space heater, even though it's 87 right now in Washington, which is typically crazy weather. But we have to have AC in the house for the girls to keep their temperature regulated. But the basement, it's just, you know, it's built halfway into dirt, so it doesn't get much, like it doesn't see much of the heat even when it gets hot. So with the AC pumping in the house, it is very cold down here, even though I closed the vents. So I'm running a space heater right below my feet right now. Made it in time for first Nope stream. Cole, this is your first time here. Wow, you're in for a treat, potentially. Maybe, we'll see. But welcome to the stream, Cole. Hope you have a good time tonight. We're here every single week, and yeah, it's a chill time. We hang out, talk tech, look at stuff, window shop, sometimes buy stuff, sometimes build stuff, but yeah. YOLO Skeet, wow, I just joined and seen you talk about GER. I've been dealing with that myself, lol. Yourself specifically, or with a little one, newborn baby having GER? We were talking about our babies having GER, but if you have GER yourself, then man, hopefully you get that checked out. I feel like with babies, it's pretty normal. Everything I look at online, it's like, oh, my baby spits up all the time. My baby's always farting. They're fussing and they're having trouble sleeping. And people are like, yeah, that's just how babies are. There are some solutions to them, but we've tried the ones that are not like medicated and doesn't require special tools. But we might have to resort to the other ones depending on how they progress. You can, the Skyforge, that's also why. In Whiterun, right? The Skyforge is that the I guess the forge up at the top of the city. Yes, yes, yes. Skyforge is also owned by streamers? I thought that was no. We're thinking Starforge. Skyforge, I don't think is owned by streamers. We can look at them all today, actually. Was working in the emergency command building at my work earlier, and man, did that place pop off with a fire nearby. Oh my god! And now a dozer is getting sent too. 'Tis the season. Wow. What is the what? I mean, it's not doesn't necessarily have to be hot. It just has to be dry, right? California weather. Let's just see Los Angeles. How if Oregon's see Los Angeles is showing 78 degrees, Oregon is showing 96, and Washington is showing like 87. What up, Philip? Thank you, I appreciate it. What up, Arnold? Sunny, Castle, Ohio. AC is a must in Washington. It kind of is only for like those 2 to 3 months out of the season. Otherwise, you don't need AC the rest of the year. But it's just because there's such a small window of hot weather. I think a lot of places are built without it. But when that weather comes in, it is horrible. My goodness. Yeah. I don't ever want to go back to living without AC. I guess Intel's getting into APU space. I saw that article. I didn't look into. It's supposed to be competing with AMD's upcoming one. I didn't look too much into it. We can actually bring that up. Let me see. I think I saw that in video cards. We could pull that up before we get into the window shopping pre-builts. Part of today's stream is due to a kind of back and forth I had with someone on Reddit on a pre-built PC post. Basically, someone was looking for advice on a pre-built PC. Someone said just build it yourself. And then the person who asked for advice was seeming very hesitant and nervous and like not confident at all. So then I chimed in and I was like, you know, there are plenty of good pre-builts out there. You don't have to get bullied into building it yourself. Some people are so adamant about pre-builts being bad. And then the guy clapped back. And then I was like, okay, guy. But that's why I want to look at pre-builts today, because I know good pre-builts exist out there. But the other week, we did pull up some pretty badly priced one. And there are a lot of badly priced ones. But there's plenty of, like, online communities, Discord, Reddit, and stuff like that, Twitter, YouTube comments that you could get help for finding pre-builts if you aren't that knowledgeable and not confident to build your own PC. So that was the motivation for today's stream. Cole says, found your channel through Jawa. I'm actually working on something that is related to Jawa. I can't speak much on it right now, but you guys will hopefully see, and once it's complete and out, I will talk about it on the stream. But I bought actually the other day a processor on Jawa, and then I'm looking for another part. But yeah, we can actually, that's what I wanted to do too. Thanks for bringing this up. We're going to look at pre-builts, like brand new pre-builts from big manufacturers, and then we're going to go over to Jawa to see if we can find any pre-builts over there made by the community. So it's 95 in Alabama. Even this bot needs an AC. Of course bots need ACs. Electronics, robots, they need to keep their, components cool. My space heater is my PC, huh? I'm running an Intel Arc B580 and like a 12700K. It doesn't get too hot. I don't think I've ever really had a space heater PC. I've never ran super hot, like high-end components. Oh, okay, yours is adult. I got it. I manage it with medication, better diet, no big deal. Oh, yeah. APUs might be a game changer for AI, but not gaming. RAM is cheap, VRAM not so much. Let me see if I can pull that article up. Nova Lake AX, big APU designed to counter Strix Halo. Yes, okay, I have it. Just buy some. NZXT pre-builts are usually pretty good, or at least they have been in the past. A lot of the times I've noticed with these pre-built companies is they kind of like fluctuate and they kind of flip flop. A lot of times, especially new ones that come out, they always have like a good first or 1 or 2 years, and then over time, as they get a customer base, as word of mouth gets out, and they get higher volume orders, they start increasing their prices and start becoming a little less competitive. I saw that with Build Redux. I saw that with Starforge. I remember the first year Starforge PCs came out. Their pre-builts were like such good value. Their build fee was like $100-$150. It looks like their systems are a bit more expensive now. It doesn't mean that is bad, but it's it's corrected itself to become more in line with what the majority of the market does. And then you got some that are just straight up ridiculous priced, and I want to look at some of those today too. Like, it doesn't make sense to charge like $300 over parts on like $1,000 build. You can do that if the build is like $2,000-$3,000, but when your build fee is such a large fraction of the part price, then I don't think that's just competitive at all. Now I must check out Skyforge PC. Yeah, I will have that pulled up. Starforge and Skyforge come up. Let's see. Wait, did you actually see me on that? I'll pull up that Reddit post actually, just to show you guys. But I've been, with the twins and stuff, a lot of the time has been spent on the couch holding them and feeding them and stuff like that. So I've been spending more time on Reddit on my phone recently, and I just get thrown these things, and I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna throw my 2 cents in here, because I feel like the PC building community on Reddit is they could be a lot better. There's a lot of elitism going on. There's a lot of overly confident, incorrect people, all that stuff. So I'm like, I'm just sitting here feeding a baby anyways, and just like, holding them to sleep. Why not have some fun online? Window shopping in the stream title cries. I know, right, Chris? I was actually thinking, Lee, you in the house? I was thinking about inviting Lee onto a stream for good old times, just to catch up with him, and then do some window shopping and see what he's been up to. Just for the good old times. People don't know. It's been like 8 years since I last streamed with him, or 7 years, some around that time. It would be nice to do some throwback stream. Yeah, I did see that. So the whole DDR4 thing, as like manufacturers starting to shift away, they were projecting price increases, but then it seems like there's a shortage. So now some of the manufacturers are ramping it up. 1 second, the door just rang. Packages, give me 1 second. I gotta get that before they get stolen. Be right back. All right. It wasn't computer parts. Dang it. It was just stuff we had to order for the girls. And, yeah. If that got stolen, whatever. It can get replaced. I thought I have some computer components coming, so I thought it was that. Everyone on Reddit is such a know-it-all. Yeah, it's the way that people type and talk on Reddit that I have a problem with. There's a very, like, cocky, big ego, like, vibe you get with a lot of people on there. The worst is when they do that, or if they have that kind of, like, vibe to them, and they're wrong. Oh, man. I just love to just step in and kind of put them in their place. How many views do you get on Facebook Marketplace? I never seem to have any luck anymore. I haven't posted on... Actually, I lied. Actually, I sold my old camera. Was it on Facebook? Or Every time I post something, I post to both Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp. I'm trying to see what I posted to most recently. Let me see my listings. I forget where stuff sells. Okay, no, okay, so this camera lens was OfferUp. Okay, nope, yeah, okay, so I guess my recent sales of things, electronics and camera related and stuff, have been on OfferUp. Facebook Marketplace, I don't remember the last thing I sold something on there. I think OfferUp usually moves stuff faster in my personal like experience in my area maybe that's used more. But I would definitely post to both if you could. OfferUp has been getting annoying and you can't post from your PC. You have to post from your phone, which is annoying, but I mean, if you got to think of the average person like shopping for stuff, they're probably doing it on their phone more than a PC. More people have phones than they do have like probably laptops and PCs that they use throughout the day. So, am I enjoying the Arc V580? I am. It's working fine for me. I was having a problem with Premiere Pro, but it looks like one of the updates did fix it. I was thinking about jumping over to a 9060 XT if it didn't work itself out, but I did my Windows 11 complete, reformat, reinstall for my system that I do every few years. So now I'm officially on Windows 11, and then either it was a OS thing, a Premiere Pro thing, or the Intel Arc card, but all three got updates. So I'm enjoying it. I think for $250, it is a great card. At $300, it's still somewhat competitive given the crappy landscape we have right now. But then, the 9060 XT just kills it at $350. Let me check on my monitor real quick. Is my monitor really dead? It is. Let me show you guys. So I fired up the stream today, and is this gonna do its thing? Hello? What's going on? Oh, it is. Okay. So hey, look at that. That's my top monitor. But anything important on the screen? I don't think so. But yeah, so I came down here, when I get ready for the stream, I like turn on my key light, I turn on the background lights and stuff like that. I get OBS fired up. I got all that set up. And then, why is it so laggy? And then my top monitor decided to just crap itself literally like 5 minutes before stream started. So I am now on a hunt for, for that one, I want it to be IPS ultra wide. It could be 60 hertz. I don't really care. But maybe we'll look at that at the end of the stream. What up, Hazard Me? Thoughts on Super Grok? I'm not a fan of Grok. And I think it's mostly because every instance I've seen it, people interact with it. And this is horrible because it's like, from Twitter, right? And I'm talking about Grok. I don't know much about Super Grok. But every time I see Grok used on Twitter, it's always something politically related. And it's always people trying to ask Grok about fact checking something. And when they don't get the answer that they want, they keep on moving the goalposts and asking a different question until they get an answer that is like, so misconstrued, if that makes sense. Like, just take a look at any political post and then someone's going to be like, Grok, is this true? And then it's going to be like, yes, this is true based on this. And then they're like, yeah, but what about this thing though? How about that? And then Grok proves them wrong again. So it's like, anytime, or like just my whole perception of Grok is it's a tool that people on Twitter argue with until it gives them the answer that they want. And apparently, is it Grok or Super Grok that's going through like some massive overhauls or something to be less woke or something? I don't know. It's just ridiculous. Oh man, I gotta get chopped. I gotta get caught up on this chat. Give me 1 second. Ugh. It's not a dead cable. I tested the different power cable and a different HDMI cable. It's definitely not the cable, unfortunately. Even with no display cable plugged in, that's the pattern it shows. Philip says, Danny, outside of tech, how's everything been for you? I bet having the twins have taken up a lot of time. Wonder if you affect anything with LAN parties. It has affected basically all my free time. Thankfully, I'm still able to do these streams with the help of, family coming over, or just me trying to put the babies to sleep for the duration of the stream. LAN parties hopefully is not affected. I do still plan to go to the one in October. It is affecting me being able to edit the April LAN party that happened earlier this year. I was planning on getting it out by this point in the month. Mid-July is when I first projected I would have had it done, but I totally underestimated how much work the twins were going to be. And I haven't even started editing it yet. All the footage, I have all the footage and stuff. It just needs to be edited, and it's a huge, I guess, workflow. Not workflow. It's just a lot of hours need to be spent, to review like 20 to 24 hours of footage and cut it down. So I just haven't had time. It's really hard to get any work done when you're every couple hours have to be pulled away to do something for like 30 minutes or so. So yeah. Isn't that the monitor you bought years ago from Craigslist for a good price? Yes. I didn't make a video on it. At least I don't think I did. But yeah, I bought it for, I think, $50. It's a 1080p ultra wide LG IPS panel, and I got it for super cheap. And it was already used at that point, and it's been like 4 or 5 years since I picked it up. So yeah, it's out of warranty. I'm sure I could find something used again for around the same price. So I just need to look. Monitors is like one of the best things to buy used. People get rid of monitors all the time when they're moving, when they're upgrading, etc. Like, they let go of their monitors for well below the retail price. So if you're trying to save money, go buy a used monitor. If you're not picky, you can get like 1080p monitors for like $10-20 just to get you started. So yeah. My favorite Grok request was the Elmo Twitter posting about them being hacked. Someone asked Grok to translate the message. Elmo's. Oh yeah. Okay, let me see. At least you have multi-monitor. Yes. The issue is that ultra wide was the one where I put both Discord and OBS up on, and so when I'm running the stream, I can do that kind of stuff. Now I have to put it on a small monitor, so I need to get used to having everything so cluttered. Kenny D, thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it. Twins on the first try. God bless, bro. Technically not the first try. We had been trying for almost 2 years, and without luck. So it was many a tries. Let's just say that. And then when it finally happened, I got the good deal. 2 for the price of 1. Buy 1 get 1 free. Hey, what up, HDZ? Got a spare TV in the house? I do. It's too big, though. The spare TV, I think, is 50 inches? 42 or 50 inches? One of those two. No way I'm putting that on my desk setup. I have other monitors. It's just, I like the ultra wide. I like being able to run 2 windows side by side. But, alright. I think you did show the monitor, but I don't remember if it was a Tor or not. Oh, yes, it was a Tor. So I was thinking about having a LAN party for Halo Infinite with all computers. What do you think? That's awesome. Halo Infinite is a super fun LAN game. You can run it in local LAN mode without the internet. And there's a bunch of game modes. There's custom games, which you've seen us play in the LAN party stories. Yeah, I love Halo Infinite. I wish it was more popular than it is, because it's free. It's got the Halo IP. It feels like Halo. I much prefer it over Call of Duty. I heard there were talks that they were gonna work on a Halo battle royale within Halo Infinite. That sounds so fun to me. I like battle royale games. I don't like I don't like battle royale only games, if that makes sense. But having a battle royale offshoot of Halo, I think sounds pretty awesome. In the Halo universe with the Halo weapons and gameplay and movement and gunplay, that sounds awesome. I'm not too much of a fan of PUBG. I played that in the past, but I don't play it anymore. It's Fortnite, etc. But yeah, I don't know. Split gate battle royale might get you close enough. Yeah, that sounds like something that might be pretty cool. And with the split gate mechanics, that could be crazy. No. Okay. So Techie Tech, you do have a good memory, but that the one from my ultra wide from 2016, that is a 34 inch. Melissa actually got that to use. The one that's above me that just broke is a 29-inch one that I bought later on. They're both LG, very similar, slightly different serial number, but they look exactly the same. But this one's a 29-inch one that I bought, not from 2016. The one from 2016, Melissa's using in her home office, and that one's still going strong. So that puts that one at like 8, maybe 9, 10 years because I bought it used. So, yeah. Use that money for a new ultra wide. Says Techie Tech. $5. Thank you. Hopefully I can find one on a good deal for like under $100. That $5 will go a long way. All right. Let's take a look at some pre-builts. Sorry for the small talk running a little bit long. But actually, let me see. Let me show you the post on Reddit. Me getting into little petty arguments with people on Reddit. So the post was essentially, this person said, is this worth $2,800 plus tax? And you look at the build, it's got a 9900X, non-X3D, and a 9070 XT. That alone should tell you any build that is going towards the $3,000 mark should not only have a $600-ish graphics card in it. I don't care what else it has in the build. That's just either not balanced or you're way paying over the price. So the person says, do not buy that. Let me zoom in. The person basically, don't buy that. And they put a PC part picker list. So that was at least helpful. And then this guy says, but I would be stuck building it. And then this person says, okay, you want to pay $100 for someone to build it? And then this person is asking, like, don't you need tools? Do you have to solder? So this is how beginner of a, like, this is how newbie this person, the OP was. They thought you needed specialty tools. Don't you need to solder stuff? I have 4 kids. Sometimes it's worth it for me to just pay someone to do it for me. I have a lot of projects on my own, right? So this person, super new to PC building, is willing to pay someone to build it, has kids, other projects, maybe not as interested. No, PC building is plug and play or take you at max 2 to 3 hours. First of all, this in itself is wrong. When everything goes right for a newbie, then it might take 2 to 3 hours. More often than not, I hear stories it takes like 4 to 6 hours. If things go right. If things go wrong, then it could take days, if not weeks, and if something comes DOA, etc. Whatever. So this person just super convincing them of that. So then talk about the compatibility, and then where do I chime in? It's it's not even shown here. Okay. So then I said, other people posted similar builds with 9070 XTs in here for under $2,000, which I think is fair. I think someone posted either 7800 X3D or 9800 X3D build with a 9070 XT for like $1,800, which I think is a steal considering it's pre-built, ready to go out of the box. So then I posted, don't get bullied into building it yourself if you aren't comfortable. Everyone says build it yourself, not realizing it's a pain in the ass if something goes wrong or if anything comes DOA and you can't troubleshoot it yourself. And then dude says, bro, you're talking like it's actually difficult. It's really not. This is the mentality I hate about the PC building community. PC building is actually pretty, like, not complex, but it's very intimidating and could actually be difficult to a beginner, which OP sounds like. When you've built PCs for like 10, 15 years, this guy apparently has been building since 2008, further down in the comments. Yeah, see, I've been doing it since 2008. At this point, you're so far removed from what it's actually like to be a day one PC builder or someone who just started looking at PC parts and stuff like that. So many people, they just assume that all the knowledge that they've gained, and we're all still learning, right? Like, I've been building since 2009. I've been using PCs since like 2003 or 4 somewhat seriously, but I'm still learning every day about stuff. Like, you forget how much knowledge you gain over time, and just because like I can build a PC with no problems in right now probably 30-40 minutes with all the parts in front of me doesn't mean a beginner is going to be able to do it in 2 to 3 hours. Whereas easy for one person can be different for other. Exactly. Like, I hate that once people, so this guy's been building for a while, but I've seen people on Reddit post after they've just been building PCs for like a year. They become so confident and they start telling everybody like, "Oh yeah, it's the easiest thing in the world." Like, bro, you don't understand. It's like a car mechanic telling you it's easy to change, your clutch or to change like a head gasket or something, which the average person, no, it is not easy to, and they can mess something up. It's not just about getting compatible parts and putting it together. You know how many posts I've seen of people dropping their CPUs into pins, breaking their like graphics cards because when they put it in, it's crooked. It's just some people need to start with the pre-built and slowly upgrade over time. An AI can walk you through most PC builds. They can walk you through like the text part of it, but you physically doing it and potentially messing something up, that's another story. Also, if a part comes DOA, I'm not sure how well the AI is going to detect that part's DOA versus giving you a bunch of solutions that aren't even relevant to the problem. It's also really easy to be stacking parts for months and end up with a mobile that has an old BIOS, newer chip, no way to fix it without getting it online. That stuff. Yeah, like the point is, pre-built have their place in the market. Not every company is out to rip people off. Some companies charge like $200 for a build fee, which is perfectly reasonable, given that they're giving you customer support should anything go wrong, and they're giving you an all-in-one warranty, so that if one thing goes wrong and then another thing goes wrong, you're not chasing multiple manufacturers and RMA processes. You're just dealing with one company and they'll get everything fixed for you no matter what. You just got to make sure you choose the right company that has good customer support and warranties. So from building PCs to babies, yeah. As basic as linking logs and Lego, as long as everything works together and you don't accidentally mess something up. I repair PCs for a living, and it still takes a while to build in less than 2 hours, lol. Yeah, and they're like also telling somebody who might not have a PC to install Windows for themselves, and then to get Windows set up and to get the drivers and all that. It takes more than just a couple of hours when it comes to a day one person who thinks that you might have to solder, to put a PC together. Like, you got to read the room and know like what the audience is. So yeah, so that annoyed the heck out of me, how people are just, I don't know. Let me run a poll. Start a poll. Do you think let's see how many extremists we have in the chat. To be honest, it's better to just wait and check Facebook Marketplace. I put my PS5 up in trade, and a military soldier contacted me who's going overseas, and we met in local trade. Yeah, with the Emily, Oh wait, so regarding this one, yeah, a lot of the times if you're selling, especially if you're not super strapped for cash, just post and then forget about it. You eventually get messages on whichever app. Uh, that it took me like over a month to sell my camera and lens. I just left them up there, and then summer or like springtime came around. I guess people wanted to go outside and take pictures, and then they hit me up. So yeah, you post something right now, it might be someone who just saved up enough money through their summer job to get a PC, or maybe towards September, people going back to school, they might want a PC or something. So yeah, just post it and set it and forget it. Is Build Redux a good option for a pre-built? They're a little bit overpriced. I wouldn't say they're like egregiously overpriced, but there are usually cheaper solutions. It just depends on what budget you have, and we can potentially find something in this stream for you depending on how much money you have to spend. And are you based in the US or not? It's like a car mechanic of 8 years saying the rear end swap is easy for someone who's not a mechanic. I think the car analogy is a little bit more. I would say cars definitely are more complex than PCs, and with regards to the know-how that you need, and the specialty tools. PCs, you need a screwdriver, and you can watch YouTube videos, and you can learn it pretty quickly. But I'm just saying, that like pre-builts are still worth it. To some people, it depends on the audience. This person said they had 4 kids, they have other projects of their own, and they just weren't comfortable with it. So why was this person still pushing? Just build it yourself. Just build it yourself. That's just like the worst mentality. And then if something goes wrong with that person building it, they're gonna be turned off of PCs. So not everyone is tech savvy enough to be able to build it themselves. Exactly. Where's Breathorn at? I feel like Breathorn, with how much he specializes in pre-built and system integrator content, he's one of the biggest advocates for it, and he's like a super reasonable guy when it comes to the talking points behind it. But yeah, I don't think I've ever been an elitist against pre-builts. Like personally myself, I wouldn't buy a pre-built because I'm trying to save as much money, but I have recommended pre-builts to friends and family for as long as I can remember, because I don't always have the ability to play tech support or to build them a PC. So oh no worries, Alucard. I just mentioned Breathorn because I saw you in the chat, and I know you're over there and with his stream a lot. But no, don't ping him to bother him. That was just a rhetorical "where's he at" question. Okay, so let's take a look at Skyforge. Actually, I'm very curious about. So I Starforge, Skyforge the video game, the MMO, Skyforge the actual blacksmithing area in Skyrim. Let's check out what this. I don't think I've actually seen this company because I do not recognize this 3 serpent, 3 hydra, whatever the heck this logo is. 50-60 deals. All right, let's take a look at their. Actually, you gotta check. When you go somewhere and you see a clearance aisle, you gotta look in there first, just in case there's a deal that's gonna get snatched up quick. Okay, let's take a look at the Griffin. Late 2024, $1150. So you're gonna save down from $1,500. What does this build have? This looks like a picture from NZXT's website. What the heck? This literally looks like an NZXT BLD like picture. But what do we got on here? We've got a 14th gen i5 RTX 4060. I would say at $1,500, that is definitely overpriced. Let me look at the rest of the specs first. 16 gigs of RAM, DDR5 5200, okay. 1 terabyte, 750 watt. In the newer NZXT case. At $1,150, that's a little bit. I mean, you could. What else we got in here? It's because they've got like the AIO. Do they have the full specs on here? I mean, if they're showing, oh yeah, they do. Z790, interesting. Why bother putting a Z7? You could save some on here. I guess unless you needed more, like PCIe slots or USB or, just other non-overclocking features that Z790s come with. So, okay, there are low-end Z790 boards, so I'm not going to knock them too hard on this one. Everything else is pretty standard. We don't know oh my god, what the heck? A 120 AIO? That's not even what the picture is that what the picture shows? What do you guys think? Looking at this picture, it actually might just be a 120 in the front here. It's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, I agree. 4060 in 1150 is not the worst. It seems like, I mean, if we were to piece this out, I'm not going to do that because that's going to take too much time, but you can already tell. Because these go for what, like 160-ish? How much are 1440, 14400s? Let's just take a look. Oh, they're a little bit higher. Okay, so 180, and then this board, I said I don't want to piece out each of the parts. So these are about $200. So you're at like 280 right there, 16 gigs, which is a weird configuration for a DDR5. This is like $50. It's hard to put a price on a 4060 because they're overinflated now, but we just assume like the $300. Let's just say this is a somewhat decent power supply, close to like 80 or $90. How much is this NZXT 120 AIO? You could get an air cooler. Wait, what? This is an air cooler. So they're showing an incorrect picture? Oh yeah, this is a T120. So it's not a 120 AIO, sorry. I've used this cooler one time. Did we just stumble on scams? No, it's not a scam. A scam is when you pay for something and you don't get something in return. This is just considered overpriced or a ripoff. They're not even showing the right picture. I guess that could be kind of scammy. They're showing an AIO clearly, and the cooling is a T120, which I think, how much does NZXT charge for this thing? Like 30 to 40 bucks, right? Yeah. Oh, so it's around 30 bucks. Let's see. Well, let me do the math on this real quick. Let's see. 50, 100, 30. So, with everything considered, this is looking close to like a $300 build fee. I think adding up the parts without any like sales or discounts or rebates and stuff like that would be closer to the $800 mark. So $300, $350 over. Yeah. Fast food joints have conditioned us to not expect to receive what the product in the picture looks like. They need pictures of their own rigs. Yeah. This is okay, so you guys agree with me. This does look like the stock. I've looked at NZXT builds for long enough to know. But let's look at their actual sales. So this is the clearance. They only have one other thing on sale. Here's a 9070 non-XT for $2,000. So this card, we've been seeing them kind of regularly for $600, $650. Let me take a look right now on... Well, yeah, you can get a 9070 for about $600. You can get a Sapphire Pulse model right now on Newegg, right? So let's take a look at this. So $600, so that's 1/3, about a little bit under 1/3 of the price of the GPU. What else they have in here though? We've got a 9600X, which is like $200 or less. X870, depending on this board. I'm guessing this is like a $200 board. Oh, this is D5. What the heck is the X870 D5? I can't even find it on here. Well, am I missing something? Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, D4 for DDR4. Thanks for pointing that out. Though it's strange how it doesn't pop up. Like, I've seen motherboards that are actually designated D4, and it's in the name when you look it up. It was interesting that, like, none of these actually put D5. Like, if I look up D4 motherboard, like this one, see how it says, like, Wi-Fi D4, D4? You see D4 in all these names. Why do none of these actually put D5 in the name? Interesting how they didn't do that. But thanks for the reminder. Yes. So the DDR5, 16 gigabytes. I am not even going to be a snob about the 5200. It's just, that's just what pre-builts kind of do. They don't prioritize the speeds and timing. This doesn't even list the timing, so it could be whatever. But I feel like capacity is, if I had to choose, like the order of importance up to a certain point is capacity, then frequency, then latency. Obviously, you don't want an extreme. Like, would you choose 16 gigs of 5200, assuming decent latency, versus 32 gigs of 4800? Yeah, let's just say 4800. It's like the slowest DDR5, right? I would personally choose 32 gigs of 4800. But 16 gigs on an almost $2,000 build, given how cheap RAM is, it's kind of ridiculous. Only a 1 terabyte? What is... And they're using a T120? Alright, I think I've seen all I need to see about Skyforge PCs. This build is not that different than the other one, except they upped the graphics card to something that is about $300-ish more, $350 more. And then it's an AMD processor, but not that much more expensive. Still sub $200 on an overclockable board. Yeah, this thing, let's see. So let's just call this 600 plus another 50, 700 plus another 50 being, 750, 950, 1150, 12, let's just call it 1300, 1400, 1430. Even if they charge for Windows $100, 15, that was me being like pretty conservative, giving them the benefit of the doubt on the pricing of stuff. That's still a $400 build fee on top of some questionable choices on components, and not making use of, like, I'm basing it off of retail prices. They definitely get some kind of bulk vendor discount, a little bit on parts. They make a little bit of margin on parts. So yeah, this is their deals in the sales and clearance. Not impressive. $400 build fee. I don't think that's average at all. I think that's on the high end. Average, I would say, would be $250 to $300. Another $100 is like another 1 terabyte, closer to almost 2 terabyte upgrade. Another, like, $100 gets you a decent amount more of any computer component you choose, whether it be the next step up in a graphics card. That's an XT versus a non-XT 9070. That's doubling your storage, doubling your RAM. Like, yeah. Okay, so Skyforge, nope. NZXT rentals are a scam. Yes, never rental PC. Though I will say this, okay? Regarding the whole rentals are a scam thing, we've done this exercise before, but I want to remind people, camera rental. Canon. Look at this. If you guys think renting a PC for $100 or $150, whatever the price is, a month, whereas a PC can let you game and do all this stuff, look at the prices for renting a single lens for not even a month, a week. Look at the cost of renting a camera for a week, right? I don't think people personally should rent a PC, but there are reasons to. Like if you're traveling somewhere for the summer, and let's just say you're traveling from someone from, I don't know, Europe or something. They're doing some summer program in the US. They're not going to want to try to build a PC here and then try to sell it before the summer's over. They could just rent a PC for 2 or 3 months for a few $100 and then be done with it. That's only one use case. Another one would be if your PC, if you're going to, like, let's say a mega LAN party, right? Let's say you're going to DreamHack or whatever other packs, and you just need a PC real quick. Renting it for the weekend and paying $100, that's not too unheard of, right? So there's renting something will never be cost efficient versus buying it outright. But some people don't want to buy it outright, nor have the money to buy it outright. So there is a market for people to need to rent stuff. It's the same with car rental. It's the same with tool rental. It's the same with anything else. It is way more expensive if you take the price it is to rent per week or month and multiply it out for a whole year. Of course, it's going to be more expensive than buying it. But that's all I'm going to say about that. Obviously, it's better to just like buy a used PC and save up the money instead. But I don't understand the amount of backlash. I understand getting some backlash for the whole NZXT rental thingy, but why didn't Gamers Nexus like look into this and make a expose hit piece on this and stuff like that, right? Like I don't understand. Sorry, we got off topic there. Again, not me defending NZXT. It's just a thing that exists. People are responsible for their own choices and decisions. There's people rent furniture, they rent TVs, rent a center, etc. Yeah, there's a market for it. Alucard Sparta says 200 to 250 is where I would charge for a build fee. Might be less depending on the budget if I personally know the buyer. I think for me, I understand these companies have overhead, right? Some of them have like rental spaces, whether it be a warehouse or a storefront. They have employees to pay, etc. They have to pay the bills. I understand, but for me, I think if I'm going to suggest a pre-built to someone, I'm definitely finding them something that they charge no more than $300. My personal limit, unless it's like hard to bending and stuff like that, is just $300. And that's on the high end. Most of the time when I've recommended builds to friends and family that from pre-built SIs, it's usually teetering on like $150 to $200 for the build fee. $300 is like, if for whatever reason the market's out of whack right now, and we just need to get this person a build, then I'm gonna go higher end and look for something with a $300 build fee. I don't like if someone's buying a $2,500 PC and the parts in it are $2,200, then yeah, $300 is much more reasonable. But when you're looking at a $300 build fee on like a $1,200 PC, you're looking at a quarter of the budget going to the build fee. And there are companies that scale back the build fee when the builds get cheaper. We have found builds for like $800, $900 where it's reasonably like, $750 worth of parts. Goku the Great says 200 to 230, 250 to 300 is insane. It's insane to you as someone who doesn't work at a big company that has all these overheads. But you got to understand, they're also providing the warranty for the build. They're also providing customer support and all of that, right? So, yeah, And it doesn't take just 1 hour to build because they got to build it and then they need to install the Windows, which I know they probably do like, you know, a bunch. They could probably batch the job and clone it to a bunch of drives. But then they also have to like do QC, quality control and checks and stuff like that to make sure everything was done correctly, maybe stress tested, etc. Right? So some companies, they don't do that, and we've seen, you know, when a PC gets shipped out with the sticker still on the cooler, causing thermal issues and stuff like that. But theoretically, they should be doing all that time, and then they have to pack the PC up and ship it out to you, which also, you know, takes time. I'm not sure if you've ever like built a PC, installed Windows, stress tested it, and then boxed it up, double boxed it, made sure it was adequately protected, then shipped it off. That definitely is more than 1 hour worth of work. It's closer to a few hours. And then the warranty on top of it and support. So, yeah. Where I am from, you pay $50 to get the PC build? Like from a shop? Or from like the random guy on Craigslist? I don't know of any mom and pop shops. Not even Micro Center. Micro Center has a build fee of like, it's at least, isn't it like a couple hundred at least? Like 150 to 200. Let me look. Micro Center build fee. 99 flat rate. Is it? Oh, is it $100? That's 6 years ago. Did the 150? Okay, so here, did they up it in recent years? I could have sworn I saw a thread that said it was closer to like $200 just this year. Starts at okay, starts at 150. Final cost depends on the complexity. Yeah, I've seen a few people on the Micro Center subreddit talk about paying around 200. So, can you check on their website? Let me see. Same day service, 90-day build fee. We build it. See, oh, here we go. Oh wait, radiator flush, express. Oh, see, so this one's 250. What the heck, AI? Express Pro build. Wait, where's the... So I'm seeing this here. I'm not seeing a price. I'm scrolling down, scrolling down. So Micro Center themselves, except the good thing about Micro Center is you can choose exactly your parts, right? And they charge $250. Build and learn services. So they'll build with you, it looks like, for $350. That's not that bad. Custom up, and they'll upgrade stuff for you for $50. Okay, so I'm not seeing any cheaper. CPU installation by itself is $80. Click all, oh wait, all services. Okay, all services, consultation. Oh my gosh. Okay, build. Okay, this is get start. Select your parts, confirm your build. So do they not? I'm not seeing a price unless you have to pick parts. Click all services. I did click all services. So where, you guys, was that hard drive installation? No, that's not it. How it works. Learn more. Get started. Yeah, they're not putting. I don't see a $99 or $150. And I'm not surprised that it's up to $250 because there's probably that much of a demand for it. There's even a shop in my country. Oh, what country are you from? That does the building it for free. It's called Mifcom, which is a company selling gaming builds. And building for you for free? I don't see why any company would do that. Maybe if you bought the parts from them, they'll build for you for free because they might have some kind of markup on the parts. But I don't know of any independently owned shop or even company that would straight up build you for free. If you bought the parts elsewhere, brought it to them and built for free. I don't know. Start the custom. Okay, so I do gotta do the custom builder. Ugh, we're getting off topic by this point. But okay, so how much is it a la carte? The build fee was changed late last year to early this year. What is it now? It's 250 across the board. Okay, got it. All right. The price that we saw was accurate. That's all I'm trying to get at. So, and I feel like 250 is reasonable, right? If they do a good job and there's no problems, and you get the kind of like guarantee that it'll be good for X amount of whatever days, especially from these SIs, then there's no problem. Okay, someone wanted to look at the Newegg ABS gaming PCs, which they've had some banger deals. They had some decent stuff on, like, usually Black Friday, they actually have good deals. Look at this build. This already puts Skyforge to shame. It's got the same, well, this one's the 14400F, but this one has a 5060 in it, up from, because remember, the other one was $1,150. This one is a flat 1,000 with a newer 5060 with 32 gigs of RAM, even though it's DDR4. Honestly, for a build in this price range and considering you're getting double the capacity, I'm okay with this. Like, I don't think DDR4 memory on a lower end graphics card and CPU like this is as big of a deal as people make it out to be. And then you're going to talk about future proofing. Well, the other one was already on the LGA 1700 socket anyways, so I don't know how future proof that other one was, right? Then 1 terabyte SSD and 10% off, so you get another 90. So this is closer to a $900 build. So without even trying, we've already found a better build from ABS than Skyforge. Yeah, Skyforge is... Now this is going to imprint in my mind that Skyforge is not a company to recommend. 8 gig GPU. I mean, the only other way you're getting a non 8 gig GPU is if they're putting Arc B580s into these pre-builts. Let's see if they've got that. Gaming PC. Let's see how much those go for. Yeah, because you're not getting any other 12 gig or 16 gig on a $900 build. I don't like the whole VRAM thing. At a certain price threshold, yes, I would expect more VRAM. For $900, I'm not sure if... Oh, actually, is this the same? So this one has a... This one is... Oh, this is 5% off. So what's 5% of 900 is $45. So this one works out to be almost like... It's like $855. So this one has a similar processor, just 1 gen older, but for the use cases of this PC for gaming, you're not going to see that much of a difference. Most games are going to be GPU bottlenecked anyways. This one does have a B580, 32 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte. This one actually, I think, is a pretty good deal. I mean, when you add up all the parts of the price, let's see. So I don't know how much a 13400F goes for. 12400, so 120 plus 3, let's just say 270, so close to 400, because you can't buy B580s for 250, so we have to be realistic about it versus building your own. This is what, like $70, 1 terabyte's 50, then you need a PowerFly motherboard, which 650 watt gold non-modular ASRock B760, which is probably gonna be like 120-ish, 130 for this motherboard. Yeah, so this one comes within the $300 threshold, and just overall, for the price with the 5% off discount, this isn't bad at all. If anything, I think it would be hard to find many builds at around $850 with accurate pictures. Yeah. Well, so you're saying 9060 XT 16 gigs. I agree with you. For $350, that card is a banger, even though you can't find it for $360. Let's do a price check real quick. On the 9060 XT, the cheapest one you can buy probably is going to be this Challenger one, but let's take a look. Let's see. 16 gigs, 370. So it's 20 over MSRP, but again, I don't think this is a bad price, all things considered. There's not much else you can buy brand new that is going to be that competitive with this. you're spending at least 60, if not $70 more for a 5060 Ti 16 gig. Okay, but let's look at 9060 XT gaming PCs. Let's see how many of the system integrators have used this. Look at this. The price already jumps up to, compared to the 850 for the other one, but this one has a promo code too. Let me look at the lowest price. A tiny bit over MSRP is reasonable depending on the... Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's an AIB card, right? It's not a reference card, so usually that tacks on a little bit. And just given the demand and the state of the market, I think that's a reasonable price. Like, I don't understand the people holding the line for so long over like 10, 20 bucks. You could wait 6 months and maybe 9060 XTs, 16 gigabytes, will finally hit $350. But was that 6 months of waiting and not having a PC to start using right now worth spending or saving $20? To some people, maybe. But I think there's like a reasonable, like, you know, percentage above MSRP you can go to just pull the trigger now. I would say 10% is my personal, like, if something is within 10%, so on a $350 card, that's 35 bucks, so 385. 9060 XTs, if you can find it for under 390, let's just say, let's round up, 390 or less, which was the Steel Legend one that I bought in white. It's not the end of the world, right? Yes, we all love saving money, but you also have to adapt with what's going on around you. Like, oh, look at this. Okay. Hold the phone. HDZ 77 might have been onto something, because we got a $850, no discount code needed. 90. Oh, it is an 8 gig. Never mind. I spoke too soon. It's the 8 gig card. No. I was gonna say, if this was the 16 gig card, I would have been okay with the 5600X. You know, the other builds had 13th gen Intel i5s. These are competitive with those. But, oh man, if only this was a 16 gig card. And it tells you in the title though, so at least they're not trying to hide it, right? Okay, let me see if we can find 16 gig. Let me change this up to a 16 gigabyte search. Come on, Newegg search, don't fail me now. Don't show me irrelevant. Dang it, you're showing me irrelevant stuff. Can I sort by the graphics card? 16 gig, come on, baby. No, memory slot, VGA memory. Where's the VRAM? You can't sort by VRAM. Dang. So I'm just going to have to control find this bad boy. Okay. 16 gigabytes. It's going to come up with so much of the RAM. Where's the... 16 gigs of RAM. 16 gigs of RAM. Oh, okay. So this one, let's take a look. This is the cheapest one. Oh, this one's not bad. It didn't look like there was a filter by VRAM. Let me look again. Current promo. So when I look at the graphics card, it only lets me select the 9060 XT, which isn't helpful. Form factor, yeah, I don't think VRAM is memory capacity, memory slots total, video ports, usage, come on now. Yeah, so there's no VRAM sorter, which is fine. We could do Control F like we used to back in the day. It's just that a lot of these builds also have 16 gigabytes of system memory. But we did find one. We found two, actually. Oh, no, this is the same build. Yeah, so we found this one. Okay, let me take a look at this. 13400F. So this is the strategy of putting, you know, just some viable CPU in there and throwing the rest of the budget at the graphics card. 32 gigs of memory, 1 terabyte. Okay, let's just assume they don't use complete garbage motherboard and power supply. Kind of hard to say. This store, Ho Engager. I've never heard of them before. They got 4 eggs, 143 seller, top rated seller. I would take a gamble on this. You could obviously build this for cheaper. I built something similar for cheaper. But considering it's a pre-built, ready to go, and the build fees factored in there. So my build came in at around the same price, right? A little bit under 1,000, except I did the white aesthetics, but then I used used parts. This is not using used parts, assuming. And it's got like, I had the 13600K, but this isn't that far from it. It's got a 16 gig 9060 XT, 32 gigs of RAM, similar to mine. I had DDR5 though, but it's whatever. 1 terabyte SSD. Yeah, this I think is very reasonable. Nobody is buying 8 gig cards. Numbers don't lie. 5060 has 16 and 9060 XT is outselling BGA. Didn't Gamers Nexus make a video about that? I didn't fully watch that one. Where did they get their data from? I mean, yes, it is a good thing that people are moving towards 16 gig cards. Hopefully that tells not manufacturers, but the big three to, hey, design your cards, because right now I'm good with 12 gigs personally. I think for a certain price range of cards, you're not going to be playing AAA games at ultra settings at 4K. I think at the right price, 12 gigs is perfectly fine, like the Arc B580, right? It's just the what's it called? I think 16 gigs for the 96. I'm going to have a video actually coming up on this. I'm going to compare the 10 gigabyte 3080 versus the 16 gigabyte 9060 XT, because right now you can't buy 3080s new, but used they're under $400, similar to these 9060 XTs under $400. Though it's going to be pretty telling, and I'm going to test at all 3 resolutions at ultra settings, and we'll see how much this 16 gigabytes of RAM, how much work it can really do versus a card that has 6 gigabytes less, but it just has more raw power. So yeah. 4 gigabyte GPU is fine. No one needed 16 gigs. You know what? That is on my back burner of videos, actually, to revisit the most powerful 4 gigabyte card, which I think might be the 5080. Can anyone think of a more powerful card than a 5080 4 gigabyte? What card did they keep pushing 4 gigs of VRAM in? Until that just kind of got phased out. Oh, 1650 Super, right? Is that it? Let me look at Tech Power Up. Was that one 4 gigs? It was. And where does that? Okay. I don't know if, do I have a 1650 Super on hand? I need to look. I might. But I mean, 1650 Super, 580, they're kind of like within a few percent of each other. So I don't think they made anything. What's a 980? 980, but this is too old. This is way too old. RX 590, did they have those? Were those 4 gigs? Let me see. Did they launch these in 4 gig? I'm only seeing 8 gigs. So yeah, all the cards though that we're kind of talking about in this area, like the 980, the 1650 Super, the 580, they're all 4 gigs. So I revisited the 8 gigabyte RX 580, but I think it'd be interesting to revisit AAA titles on the 4 gigabyte 580. That's on my list of things to do. I have 480 or 4 gigabyte 580s on my shelf. I just don't have the time right now. Right now, I'm actually in the process of testing the 3080 and 9060 XT. That's on the test bench behind me there. Let me hide this. Yeah, so I have that set up. Ooh, I did. I actually, let me see if I can bring it up. Can I bring this up? Maybe, maybe not. I'm working on a new overlay for my Riva tuner, and I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on it. After years of my current format, I want to show you guys what I'm working on now, what I'm cooking. What am I cooking right now? Now, only the 580 came in 4 gigs. Okay, yeah. Way too old, and the reason the OG Switch got decimated in games only had 4 gigabytes. Yeah, they're too old, but the thing is, some of these cards go for like $40. For a budget gaming machine, it is impressive what they can still do with only 4 gigabytes of VRAM. Let me see if I could show this window. If I can find it. Huh? Where the heck did this thing save? Oh my goodness. Give me 1 second. There it is. Okay. No, that's not it. What about AMD Fury cards? Fury X. What was that one? 4 gigs? Okay, actually, this might be it. Yeah, the Fury X was like a good 10% faster. Ooh. I don't know if I could buy... What do these even go for? I haven't even given much... This was... Oh my goodness. June 24th? Yeah, this just turned... Not even a month ago. It turned 10 years old. I have never used an R9 Fury card. Okay, I gotta look this up now. How much are these going for? I'm not trying to spend more money if I don't have to. But it makes for a very good title. The most powerful 4 gig graphics card. Nah. $80. Oh. R9 Fury. This is a non-X though. See, so there's a Fury and then a Fury X. And yeah, it's about 10%. We want the Fury X. We gotta get the Fury X. $90? You're killing me. Anyone selling this locally? No, it's not even anywhere. Nobody's selling this card. This is a unicorn card apparently on OfferUp. Because it's not even showing me ship. Oh, here we go. R9 Fury non-X. For $75 on OfferUp. ITX GPU. Oh my god. Fury Nano. Yeah, dang. Okay. I need to see if I can snatch one of these. Do it. 80 is cheapo. The thing is, I already got so many other projects. Like my DIY home server NAS, as well as other things I need to get to beforehand that I'm just gonna wait, see if I can find a local deal pop up. But this is going on the list of videos to make. The thing about the RX 580 would be I can do that right now without spending extra money, without having a deal on for it. But R9 Fury X most powerful 4 gigabyte graphics card. Okay. Obviously, I can make my money back just from AdSense and stuff alone. But, well, we put that on the back burner. Sorry. The ADHD is going strong today. Back on the topic of pre-builts. You guys get me off track. No, I get myself off track actually. When my mind like gets a hold of a thought, it just runs with it, and I get so distracted. But going back to the topic of pre-builts, I'm I want to look at other ones, so I'm just gonna call it now. Not necessarily ABS, but Newegg pre-builts. They've stepped their game up ever since they started putting more pre-builts on the website. ABS usually has pretty good deals, and then we've got these other smaller players. I've never heard of this. Hoengager, company or brand, but honestly, to me, as much as we do talk about the build fee going towards warranty and customer support and stuff like that, sometimes we just make the recommendations on hardware and performance itself. Like, and you just assume the upcharge is for the build fee without the support and all that, because the hardware pricing is that good. That's not to say this company doesn't have good customer support or warranty. Let me actually take a look. It's just, you know, when you're trying to save money, either spend more money or you drop some of the features. This just got first date available literally yesterday, July 15th. What's the warranty on this? Please contact the seller for warranty information. So you got 30 days at least from Newegg. It's covered by the Hoengager return policy. 2-bit, yeah. What is the long-term warranty? Returns, refund, replacement, standard return policy. What's the warranty? Standard do they seriously only have a 30-day though? That seems kind of short. You guys think this is sketchy or not? Because I'm not seeing anything about a 1 year at least warranty. Pre-builds are for parents to buy for their kids or for business to buy office, etc. Still good to have, but not good for gamers or hobbyists. I think for gamers, it's fine as a starter PC, right? I don't know about you guys. Was the first gaming PC you've ever had, or the one you've ever built, was that like the best price to performance? You got the best deals on everything ever? I know for me it wasn't. I didn't know what I was doing when I first built a PC many years ago. I just kind of bought everything as is. Maybe I was looking for sales and stuff, but I didn't have a good understanding of pricing and deal hunting and stuff like that. And then for sure, whatever pre-built PC my parents bought us from Costco, the pre-builts, probably, I mean, Costco has good pre-builts, but the one that they got probably wasn't like the best price to performance build at the time, right? So not everything has to be the best deal you've ever gotten in your life, especially for something like your first PC. The first anything you buy doesn't have to be the best deal ever. It's once you get into it more, once you start working on it yourself, understanding the ins and outs, then in the future, when it comes to upgrades or just doing it again, building something new, that's where you can reap the rewards of savings and stuff more. I don't think it's the end of the world to spend a little bit to have someone build it for you. It's all I'm saying. Gotta get 2 so you can build the girls matching PCs. They're gonna get matching Dell Optiplexes. When am I gonna be running on it? I think we decided on the 5600G. Oh, in terms of if you're talking about OS, it's gonna be Unraid, just for the expansion and parity features of it. The ease of being able to mix and match drives was the biggest factor for me. If I wanted to slap in a drive that wasn't the same size as all the other ones, it's just quick and easy, and it's a cheap buy one-time license, etc. So we're going with Unraid. Peckish says, hey, Nerd on Budget, I built my new PC and I rushed it and I wanted to show you and get your thoughts on it if possible and tell me how I'm stupid. You're not stupid. Making a mistake doesn't make you stupid. Everything's a learning experience. There's a link to the Discord server down below. If you post it there, did you post it in here at all? PC setup showcase. No, this is the old one. Stream submissions. Where is it? Oh yeah, here's the post of the monitor. Thanks for posting that, by the way. But where is? If you want to go post your build setup showcase in here, we can pull it up. But otherwise, it would be difficult for me to critique your build. Pre-built are horribly priced nowadays, says Neva's Dark. We just pulled up a couple that weren't that bad. Again, $150, $200 build fee, not the end of the world. Depends on how much you value your time and how much you're willing to learn. Yes. Please verify phone number. I had so many people complain about having to verify phone numbers, but I'm like, how do you think people make all these malicious Discord accounts and join servers and hack them and freaking like post spam and, you know, on what's it called, Zerg it? It's because once they get banned, they can just make another one with no repercussions because they don't link their email and phone number. But okay, so ABS was good. Any other pre-built companies off the top of your head that you can think of that is typically we looked at Build Redux the other week, so I don't want to look at them again. We looked at oh my god, Meta PCs. I don't understand their pricing. And they're like, no one has really called them out on it either. I don't know if I'm confrontational enough to call them out because they have a bigger following and they could come and brigade me. So I don't want to go be doing that kind of stuff. But yeah, like their pricing is just so bad. Braythorn is not in the chat. He does know a lot about pre-builds. Braythorn, I would say, is a lot more lenient with pre-builds. He definitely sees more value in like the customer support side of things, like more of the intricate details. Braythorn is not all about the price and specs. He is about the actual workmanship, like the cable management, the pairing of parts together that makes sense, the warranties, the reputation that the SIs have built, things like that. Like I think Braythorn has a good relationship with Meta PCs, which is kind of surprising given how I feel like Meta PCs is super overpriced. But again, maybe some people find the $400+ build fee that they do, they might build PCs that much better. I have a hard time believing that, but yeah. Which channel to send it to? Send it to the build and setup showcase right here. Builds and setup showcase, where you can post pictures and the specs. Kind of like this person did. They posted the pictures and then they put the oops. And then they put the specs down here. Some other people put the specs in the original post. So yeah. Oh man. So you said I saw on the PCMR subreddit some people complaining. Let me see if I can find it. And it's funny because people are focusing on that new build that Zach put out. Let me see if I can find it. All right. This post right here. So this was posted 5 days ago. ZTT just launched a $1,200 PC with a Ryzen 7 8700G and integrated graphics. Thoughts? So this was it's in the business. We can pull up his website too. It's in the business section. So you know, no RGB, no side panel. I think optimized for cooling and silence. Not cooling maybe, but silence. stuff like that. All right, so $1,200 for this PC. So a lot of people got mad at him for this in the comments. I didn't weigh in on this at all, but I saw this when a YouTuber, they were joking that he would have a YouTube Shorts explaining it. I don't know if he did or not. Zach enters his evil arc. Not a big surprise to me. So a lot of people talking down on Zach, I think pretty unfairly, because Zach sells a bunch of different PCs on his website. So we'll go to his builds. He has a lot of other builds that provide much better value than this core one. But let me see. Is it not? Did he take it down? Builds. Shop. Did he remove it because of the backlash? Core V1. Let me see if I can find it. Business class. No, it's still here. What the heck? Why couldn't I find it? Oh, business. Whoops, I'm dumb. It says business right here. Okay. No, he still has it on here. All right. So he has the build. Okay, Peckish. I'll take a look in a second. So this is a, let's look at the specs. In terms of the pricing of everything, off the top of my head, I don't know if, let's see if I don't know how much these 8700Gs cost, but you can kind of get an idea for everything else. 8700Gs, 206, like three, let's just say $300. 275. So 32 gig CL30 is right now what, like $90 for non-RGB ones. So 90 plus 275, so we're at 365. Gigabyte B650 Eagle AX. We just saw this motherboard on the Amazon Prime days, but off of Prime days, they're about 160, right? So what are we looking at now? So 275 plus 90 is 365 plus one, let's just say 170. This is like 530 plus $50 power supply, 580 plus this is about let's just say 640 plus this cooler, 640. I don't know what cooler this is, but I'm guessing it's like a $20 or $30 cooler. It's a $30 cooler, so 670, and then the fractal design. So it comes out about $750, and then Windows. I don't know if he uses gray market keys. I don't know what the rule is with these SIs. Do we know if SIs? We're just gonna call Zach an SI. Do we know if SIs use retail Windows or are they using gray market keys? Because if we add on a $100 Windows key, that brings up the price to like around $850. So then that puts it at about $350 build fee, which again, you could consider that on the higher end, but Zach sells other builds that have discrete graphics cards that have better value. This is marketed specifically for, business. So no focus on aesthetics. I think Zach would use gray market keys if I recall correctly. I guess I should ask him that. But then, yeah, they set it up so there's zero bloatware. I don't know if that means he goes in and, like, installs one of those custom versions of Windows where you, like, remove all the garbage that comes with it. But if he does, all that takes time and effort, and he does have, especially Zach being he's not like a big system integrator, right? He's not Skytech. He's not Build Redux. He's not, what's it called? Like, CyberPower, iBuyPower. It costs more for smaller companies, and I would consider him as, I think the number of employees he has, you can count on two hands if I am up to date with what's going on over there. So it costs more to do that. Is this overpriced? I would say I think so. You could definitely build it for cheaper, but there's definitely a market for it, and he has other builds that are for the same price. I guess for the other one, He has a 5600, 7600 for $1,200. So he definitely it's harder for him to compete against those ABS builds and stuff that we've seen on Newegg. But again, he does have a focus and emphasis on aesthetics, which people will pay for. In my latest PC build video, my customer was willing to pay like an extra $100 for white aesthetics. So you have to factor that into it. Zach puts out clean builds, so. I wonder what he uses for zero bloatware. Yeah, I'm curious about that too. There are programs where you can go in. Didn't Jay make a video on that recently? I'm pretty sure he did. If you guys didn't know, come on, where is that video? There was, if it wasn't Jay, it might have been somebody else. Gaming on Linux, Gamers Nexus, deserve this. Everyone should have this. I think it was this one. So yeah, it was a recent video. Wind Arrow Tweaker. So this is a tool, thanks Jay. This is a tool that you could use to basically go in and fine tune your Windows install and remove a bunch of stuff. So it can help remove some of like the telemetry and bloat and stuff that just comes by default. So maybe that's what Zach's doing, but yeah. Should have taken it to Frame Chasers. What up, Jason? You guys know about Frame Chasers? I think he took down his, what's it called? So there's this whole like PC optimization and tuning thing, which I'm not gonna knock that side of the I guess industry you want to call it. There are people that you can pay to tune your existing or upcoming build. Like they will remote into your computer or like get on a call with you, tell you how to tune your RAM, how to tune your overclocks, stuff like that. I think Frame Chasers, last I saw, was charging $500 per thing, which was, oh, can I shop? Consultation? Oh, here it is. Wait, no, that's just selling stuff. Consultation. $500 for the first call appointment, 3 hours max. So I have read testimonies both ways with like PC optimizing. I've seen people claim that, oh my god, I got so much more frames in Call of Duty and stuff like that. I've also seen people say like, these people put out these overclocks and stuff and it works fine for a little bit. I'm not saying this guy specifically, but I'm just saying in general. When you start looking into it, like go on Twitter and stuff like that, there's a bunch of people who provide services for tuning your PC. But in my mind, paying $500 to tune your build, that only makes sense if you already have the best hardware out there. That means you have like a 9800 XDD, the best, fastest RAM possible, the best motherboard, the best graphics card. Because any of the gains that you can get from tweaking, you could have also gotten by just spending $500 on a better graphics card, on a better CPU, on a better motherboard, on a better anything else, right? So I don't know how much everybody else's charges. I just remember specifically Frame Chasers in my mind. I just remember him as the guy who charges $500. But if he has customers and they're happy with it, I don't know. I guess I am not willing to put $500 of my own. I don't even have a system that's worth tuning for $500. I'm not running like high-end hardware. So it's hard for me to say and judge because, again, also, I'm not a hardcore overclocker. But $500 for a 3-hour max call, you've got to really want your PC to be performing at its best. That's not an insignificant amount of money. He does good at optimization guides. So that's also one thing too. It's kind of like the Zach with his builds too, right? Like Zach openly says all the time, Like, yes, you are paying me to build your PC. I have plenty of videos to teach you. I think Frame Chasers does make content on tuning stuff too. So I guess the same argument goes the same way. Yes, if you want to pay me 500, pay me, but I have guides on my YouTube channel that can teach you to do the same thing. It goes back to some people have more money than time. So, how do we even get on this topic? You could buy a PC for $500, but the types of PCs that you're tuning for $500, it's not even in remotely the same universe as a $500 full PC. Oh, okay, wait. We got the builds posted. Sorry. We are okay. So where are these builds at? Where are these builds at? Oh, I'll take a look at this real quick. $200? Nah, I can't. After that deal I got, I'm just looking for a 60 hertz old monitor. I'm trying to spend like less than $100 for a replacement monitor. But okay, build. So Peckish. Let me go look at Peckish's build first. We've got this. In this whatever. Did you not put back in? There's a piece right here. It sounds like you want me to roast your build, so I'm gonna somewhat do that while being constructive at the same time. But there's a piece that typically screws into here that covers this. But let's take a look at the rest of the build. This is that Montech case, right? With that curved glass. Is that the King one? Sorry guys. Let's see, Montech King. Or is there other curved glass ones? Yes, it looks like the Montech King, but it might be something else because it seems like other companies are hopping on the curved glass trend. Techie Tech, thanks for the $5 donation. You said, do an undercover video chat with him and see how it really goes. I don't know how well that would work out because I live in a two-party consent state where if you record someone, it's technically illegal. Like, phone call-wise. If you're out in public, like when I do my pickups and stuff, that's fine. You can record people as long as there's no expectation of privacy. But over a call, there is expectation of privacy. So you have to disclose it to them. I don't know how well that would go if it was trying to be like an expose gotcha type of piece. But I am curious. I just don't have $500 to be throwing. Does anyone have $500 to report back on how the tuning goes? Tuning PC is not hard and easy to find online how to do it for free. The only thing about PC tuning that is annoying is just the time it takes. Because yes, you can look up like preset tables for like specific sets of RAM and CPUs and motherboard combos and stuff like that. But Silicon Lottery, stuff like that, when you're tuning and testing for stability and the system is like crashing and then it's not booting up and you have to like reset CMOS and constantly do that over and over. Like I tried to get into RAM tuning and overclocking and stuff. My goodness, I just felt like it was the biggest waste of time. So I do see why people don't want to do it. I have so many better things I could do with my time than to sit and wait for my computer to crash so I can change one value, test it for like X amount of time, wait for it to crash, potentially crash so bad that you have to reset CMOS, get back in, change another value like incrementally. Like, not my cup of tea, unfortunately. Bro definitely has piss bottles in his closet. I called Gamers Nexus, asked if their computer was running. Steve called me a pissant and hung up. If anything, if someone can get Steve to test out the services and make that would be a good potential piece. But okay, looking at the rest of this build, so we got some what's it called? This I would call this pastelly cables. You know, we got like kind of bubblegum pink and some cotton candy blue going on, but it's a white build. This is the setup. We got carpet. We got what looks to be a pillow and a blanket underneath. PS5. Vertical monitor. Water bottle. Okay. Let's take a look at what the specs are on this build. This is the second PC I've ever built, and I built it in 2 hours since I lost the last one of floods. Sorry about losing your last one to floods, but hopefully you had excitement in being able to build a new PC. Unless you lost one that was like higher end than this one. But you got a B5 650 micro ATX board with Wi-Fi 8500G, 6600 Eagle 8 gig card. I had that one specifically. PNY Accelerate 6000 CL36. DDR5 memory, AeroCool. Oh, this is the AeroCool one. It is not the one that I thought it was. AeroCool P300C. So yes, this also has a curved glass design. I can't keep track of all the companies with curved glass. AeroCool, that's a company I worked with before, but I haven't given much thought. For a while, they had some weird cases. Like, this case, weird. This case, kind of weird. These cases, weird. Also, did they rename the Cylon to the Blade? This looks like the Cylon. What are you guys thinking? Did they rename it because it got so many bad reviews? What is this? Oh, this is a tempered glass version, not an acrylic. Maybe that is the difference. But anyways, so you got the AeroCool case. Peerless Assassin, always a solid pick. MSI Spatium, 1 terabyte. Okay. You got a Co-Link cable kit, Thermalright. Budget fans. What else we got here? Went with the APU because it's the cheapest AM5 you had the budget for. This costs 1200 AUD. Oh man, we gotta do some conversion. So that's about 780 USD. So for under 800 bucks. And you're on AM5, so you kind of set yourself up for future upgrades. And then for the whole setup, you spent another 600 AUD. But for under 800 bucks, I mean, I don't think you did that bad. You spent a little bit extra on like extra fans and a cable kit, and you know, you got yourself onto AM5. You've got 30. Wait, how much RAM do you have though? Here's some extra images. But yeah, I mean, the APU is probably the big thing that most people are going to point out. I don't know how much 8500Gs cost, but could you have saved more going with the 7500F? Maybe, maybe not. But having integrated graphics over the 7500F does have its own benefits. You could offload streaming tasks or other things to it, so yeah. And you have 32 gigs of RAM. So yeah, for the price, I don't think you did bad. It's only your second ever build, right? We don't expect people who don't have a bunch of builds under their belt and who are kind of newer to this to be on deal hunting levels as the rest of us who have been doing this for like over a decade or decades. So yeah. RAM tuning for the win. Embrace the pain. If I wasn't a content creator or just had babies, maybe. But yeah, it's just I can't. I just set the XMP or the AMP and I just go on with my day. 75 doesn't handle Expo. Let me see. I'm trying to think of the last couple 7500F builds that I did. I'm pretty sure I used 6000 CL30 kits on there, and they worked just fine. Is this a thing? Can anyone else who worked with 7500Fs, can you guys recall? Jason can't be arsed to do all the timings just to get a few more FPS. Like, just play your game. That's how I feel about it too. I do understand from like the tinkering perspective if you have the free time, but I feel like the older you get, the less free time you have. So, yeah, Peckish, I don't think you did. Don't beat yourself over it, right? I think you did fine on your build. It's not like you spent, 1200 USD on this build. I think you're good. Don't sweat it. What was your first PC that got ruined in the flood? I'm actually curious about that one. Is this an upgrade for you or what? Ran into someone that had crashes with T-Force 6000 X. Okay, actually, let me see. The build that I did for my friend David, in the half XB, he's running that now, and he games like every single day. What does he play? Call of Duty. He does a lot of League of Legends and TFT, but he does do Call of Duty, which is probably the most demanding game that he does play. He has not, because if he had a problem, he definitely would have reached out to me about crashing issues. But let me take a look at the parts list, because I used a 7500F for his build. And I'm pretty sure I used 6... Yeah, I used Team Group T. I used T-Create. You're saying a T-Force kit? And the motherboard can make a difference too. What did I use? I used the MSI B650 Gaming Plus Wi-Fi. But yeah, I didn't have any trouble with the combination of CPU, motherboard, and RAM from this parts list. And regardless of what he played, I tested his system extensively. And I didn't run into any problems running the 6000 profile. So it might just be a weird combination of parts. I'm not doubting it. I'm sure people have problems running memory profiles all the time. So I'm just saying I don't think it's specifically a 7500F thing. Last build was pure performance build, 480 USD, Ryzen 5 5600, RX 6600. Okay, so your build basically is, I mean, you got a better CPU, but given that the graphics cards are on bottleneck most of the time, this build is like a pretty equivalent exchange, except it sets you up for the future for AM5 CPUs. Okay, got it. They had a Gerbil Bytes 650, try 2 or 3 BIOS. Interesting. That's really strange. It might have just been... You think the RAM might have been faulty? Not in that it's completely faulty, but not up to par to just that specific kit. $7,500F and $7,400F can support 6000 CL30. I've built with them before. So other people chiming in saying it's possible. So it might have just been the luck of the draw with the combination of parts or with the RAM lottery, which shouldn't be a thing because they test before it's sold. Like, it should be able to hit the rated speeds. So, yeah. Psychosemantic 9, my first ever computer build. Let's take a look at what we got here. Y70 Touch Infinite Cherry Red. I'm seeing the red theme. Got some Jason Voorhees mask going on. 9800 X3D, 4090 OC. Okay, we got a high-end PC here. 2 terabyte and 4 terabyte 990 Pros. ROG Crosshair X. Man, you spared none. You went all out on this build, it sounds. And I'm guessing you probably got this before maybe before the 5090s came out. For its time, this is probably like the best that you put together. 1000 watt MSI mag, Dominator Titanium 64 gigs with 2 light enhancement sticks. So 2x32 with the 2 aesthetic pieces to fill up all 4 slots. Thick Q60 AIO. Cable mod. Yeah, see? With cable mod cables. Those are expensive. Viper Pro Faker Edition. Keyboards Alua 75 Pro. Alright, let's look at this with the Yeti mic. So 2 of these memory sticks are just dummy ones. You got the red and black, what I call MKBHD theme going on. But, do you have a picture of it on? Oh, here we go, here we go. Wait up. I want to see what you put on your screen. So you got the time, you've got some notes, you got the music player, and you didn't populate the screen with the temperatures or a funny cat gif. But no, this. How much does this cost you? I would assume this is closer to like the $3,000 mark, if not more, depending on what market you bought the 4090 in and what time frame. But yeah, this is like an all-out PC. But enjoy it. First build ever. My goodness. What a first build this is. Alright, who posted something? Ant-Man, can you rate my setup? Where did you post it? We got tech support question. Who was asking the tech support? Gamer, maybe no. You said yourself the build redux is a bit overpriced, but I want to know if this PC right here would be a good PC to buy off. Are you still in the chat? Whoever asked this? Ant-Man, where'd you post your thing? $5,000? No. I've got to tell you right now, you could buy a 5090 PC with the 9800 XTD elsewhere for at least $1,000 less. I'm based in the USA. This is overpriced. This is just looking. And 32 gigs of RAM? Come on. 32 gigs of RAM. The 4 terabyte is fine here. For $5,500, my goodness. It's not even like custom, like, you know, hardline tubes. It's just an AIO. This is overpriced. I think you could get a 9800 X3D 5090 PC. Should be like $4,000 to $4,500, just because the 5090's base price is like $2,600 to $3,000 depending on the model. But yeah, this is overpriced. Ant-Man, where'd you post your thing? Oh, are you posting it now? Cody, here it is. All right, Ant-Man, let's go. What do we got here? 5700G, 64 gigs of RAM, 5 terabytes, 4060. Let's take a look at this build. You got this thermal take. I don't remember what the case's name is. Do you have a side profile of it? This is that thing that looks like you're riding in the body of a mech. You know? You guys seen that game Mecha Break? But like, you know how mechas, they usually have that chamber in their like chest or their head, and the pilot sits in it? Kind of like the torso region right there. That's what I'm reminded of this build. This core region. But I forgot what this case's name is. But here's your build setup. You got the 4 monitors going. 5 monitors? What are you doing with all these monitors? You got the face fan to keep your face cool. I can appreciate multi-monitor setups as a person who uses 3 myself. I like the kind of jankness of the all different sizes, because, you know, it all works, and it was probably done on a budget. So that works. Kenny D says, Mecha Break mentioned. I love Mecha Break. I plan on playing a lot more Mecha Break. I used to play this game called X Steel. Sorry. I have to mention X Steel because for the people who were around when this game was still alive, I've been waiting for a online mecha shooter like X Steel, and Armor Core did not fit. It was because Armor Core, the mech movement is. I'm looking for something that's more like Gundam, you know, like swifter movement, flying around and stuff. Armor Core is more grounded and it's just less dynamic and it's slower paced. But yeah, this game X Steel, my goodness, me and Jan played the crap out of this game when it was a thing. But it went away many years ago, and then we've been waiting on Mecha Break for a while since we've heard it released. But 5700G 4060 build. Again, you've got the APU dedicated discrete graphics thing going on, which isn't always a problem. I'm curious how much was spent on this, and I would like to see a side profile view of this so we can see, you know, a little bit more on the insides. I can't really see the inside unless this side panel doesn't really show much. Peckish says, I'd like to know if it would be worth overclocking my system. I barely hear my fans ramp. Yeah, overclocking is like free performance just so long as you don't, like, you know, overdo it and you have stability issues. Overclocking is fine. You're going to get the most out of, for your setup, the overclocking the graphics card, which is super easy. It's as easy as going into MSI Afterburner and, you know, sliding some sliders around. And if it crashes, it'll, you know, the driver will crash, it'll reset, and you can just do that. Let me see something real quick. RTS overlay for documents. I want to show you guys the thing I was working on, if I can get it to work. Any new LAN parties anytime soon? Video hopefully before the end of August. And then the next LAN party, we haven't set the date yet, but it should be in October. I bought this case for $80 last year, Black Friday. Okay. Casey Walls. So last time I was on stream, I said I was sitting on 8 builds. I had the same guy buy 8 builds. He said he was doing a gaming room for his wife. Oh my gosh. Did you give him a discount, Casey? That is crazy. You sold 8 builds at once. When you went to the meetup, did you bring a gun? Someone buying 8 builds at one time, like, not... It's one thing if, like, someone reached out to you and said, hey, I would like to commission you to buy 8. But someone to buy 8 just, like, randomly put together builds that aren't, like, using the exact same, you know, case, motherboard, all that, like, that's crazy. Congrats on selling all of them, though, because I know you were trying to move them because, you know, they were sitting kind of somewhat depreciating, collecting dust, so congrats on moving them. Casey Walls had a sniper looking over the meetup. Yeah. That dude, going to a meetup with that much cash in hand or 8 PC builds, I would definitely be looking over my shoulder. Alright, here's the side of the build. RM850X. So yeah, you got a really nice power supply that's going to last you a long time. Yeah, look at that. That looks like the head of a Megazord. And you got a matching white graphics card. I mean, no, your build's solid. And you have 5 terabytes, I'm guessing, of SSD. Check out yours. Did you post it? Let me see. Are you Nyan Slayer, Angry Yank, or are you somebody else on the server? Daddy Boop Drop. Hey, bro. I have a RX 590 and a Ryzen 5 3600. I just found a 4060 on Marketplace for 180. Is it worth it? I think a 4060 for 180 is a fair price. All the 8GB VRAM haters can go talk to the corner of my room. No. Like, what else are you going to get for 180 bucks? You're not... What 12GB VRAM cards? You're not going to get a 6700 XT. You're not gonna get a B580. Like, $180, 8 GB, 460, good price. You're gonna get great performance for it. You're good. Oh, you're Punisher. Okay, got it. Sorry. Oh, I totally missed it. Oh, people, let's see. Okay, here we go. Ooh, you're a David does tech stuff enjoyer. Wait, why is it only showing one picture? Oh, here's the other one. Okay, here's your setup. You've got that Cooler Master half something case with the gigantic 2 front fans. You got your, is that a mini monitor? Remote sensor, indoor sensor. Is this on your PC? I can't tell, or if this is a different control panel you're using. Is this hooked up to your PC? But you've got the red setup going on, as well as Ryzen 7 2700X. Okay, so you're working with a little bit of older stuff. To 32 gigs of memory, 2700X 2060. We're talking, you know, like 3-4 generations old by this point, but still capable of 1080p gaming solidly. Your monitor, 32-inch Samsung Curve 240. Your monitor is definitely punching at a higher weight class than the rest of your specs. You could definitely put your monitor to more use, unless you're playing like League of Legends and Valorant, and you're, you know, getting the full what's it called, refresh rate usage. But yeah, I like seeing when people post their builds and they're like more you know, kind of like older, more humble, reasonable, like specs like this. Because I always say it, like, just turn your settings down if you want to play newer stuff. And a lot of this old hardware still works pretty well. I've picked up a the only thing about the 6700 XT though is that I've noticed the price has gone up in the last 6 months. I would agree with you. Between a 6700 XT for 220 and a 4060 for 180, I would pick the 6700 XT. It's just, I don't think that that's a standard going price for them. They're usually closer to 250, if not. Last time we checked eBay, weren't they like 275? Their price has gone up just because there's no good competition. But if I wanted to look for one right now, you know, you can take 10% off, assuming if you don't buy it on eBay. But 6700 XT, yeah. So the lowest one is going for 250 here, plus tax and all that stuff. So, like if I looked in my local area, which Seattle, very tech friendly scene. We usually have good stuff here, but 6700 XTs in my area, if I can even find it. Locally, within 30 miles, where are people selling for? 325, 250. So this one, oh, this was a year ago. This might not even be there anymore. But the only other one is this one for 325, posted not even a month ago. So it just depends on what you find. I still stand by under 200 for a 4060 for the performance is pretty good. You're going to be building an AM5, newer AM5 this year? Okay. Yeah, once you build that, definitely post it, and we'll take a look. You posted yours too, Techie Tech. Had to join the bandwagon. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Wait, Techie Tech. You didn't change your name on here, did you? Did you change your name to Neon Slayer? Oh, yeah, you're Kiwi. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, wait. Where did you post it though? Dude, this is not refreshing. Does this not refresh real time? What the heck? Here it is. Also, was Cole Niantic? Are you here? I'll take a look at your stuff too. 5700X, 6800XT, solid, very solid pairing. Two 1440p monitors, 3 terabytes of SSD storage. Very solid. Oh, look at this room. Man, oh, what am I doing? I need to go to the browser. Cole is Neon Slayer. Okay, got it. Wait, why this build? Why is it so blurry? Is it because of the? It's posted in the dark. I thought my image had to load for a second. You gotta tap to focus. But this setup, I like the look of this setup. I think ambient lighting in a room does a lot to carry a setup. Alright, so that's Techie Tech. They look at Cole. We do have to end the stream soon here. I have dinner waiting on me. And here's a side profile of the build. Is that dust? What are we looking at right here? What is this line that separates the color of this part of the PSU shroud to this part? Was this just like a half attempt to wipe some dust off and not finish the job? What are we looking at here? You can just go whoop, the whole thing. Was this you trying to adjust this stand and that's what like did this? Yes, it's dust. It's cleaner now. I live in a very dusty part of the house. I do that to see if it needed dust. Yes, it's the finger check. Okay. What else we got here? We have Cole Niantic. First custom loop build. Also personal PC. This is a custom soft loop, it looks like. Wait, is this soft or hard? No, it's soft. They're braided. At first, when it was zoomed out, I couldn't tell. Alright, so we got soft tubing, custom. We got radiator down here. And we got a radiator up here on the side. Double radiator, two 360s, it looks like. That graphics card. It looks like it has to be vertically mounted because of this case. But, man, that, it's on like a riser cable, but it looks like it's sitting so close to the motherboard, which you typically don't see with riser cables. But given that you're doing like a custom loop, you can make it so that it could sit back there. But yeah, this is a good job. First time doing a custom loop, huh? Let me see what so it's going from that to this radiator to the reservoir, going yep, so into this one. I'm trying to see where the loop goes. Wait up. Is this right? There's 3 points of entry into this radiator or into this reservoir. This one. This one. I'm trying to see how this connects. My mind is being very slow right now. Is this 2 separate loops? I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. It's a single loop. Okay, so walk me through this here. I can see where, like, so, and where's this going to? Like, this port comes out and goes up to the graphics card, which I can see looks like feeds into the CPU, which goes up into this, oh, wait. Is there a third radiator up here? Maybe that's what I'm missing. No, okay, there is not. Yeah, so because if you here open in a new tab. Let me take a look at this. Oh, what? Why is this opening a new tab making it even smaller? Okay, that's not helpful. But there's a quick disconnect couple behind the case. Okay, the tube running to the back of the case is the drain line. Okay, I kind of figured that, but still. So this reservoir, I guess what's confusing me is it looks like, oh, wait. What is this? Is this just, okay, I see it now. Sorry. Just from the looks of this, it looks like, yeah, I should have seen that this was going into the radiators going to the CPU and to the reservoir. This one going out kind of looked like it was going to a third radiator up here, which is why I was like, huh? What is this? Okay, got it. Yes, the fill port. Yeah. So when I did mine, I didn't have a fill port like this. I used that squeeze bottle with that neck, and I just did it right into the hole of the reservoir. Okay, that's why. Yeah. So you have a more conveniently placed fill port. Got it. Also, yeah, what is this thing? Concrete is also asking this. What is this thing? It's this just looks like a fancy window to look at the liquid coming through. It's a flow meter, basically a spinning wheel. Okay, it's a flow meter. Interesting. It does look like Iron Man's what's it called? His arc reactor. So is this just so you can visually see that the fluid is pumping? I guess I always, and it's not like the best practice because once you close this up, when you grab onto the tubes, you can usually feel it flowing. Or I guess if you look at the reservoir, sometimes you can see the bubbles like moving around. That's what I used as an indicator when I did my custom hardline loop. But this just lets you. Does it actually show flow rate? Like, does it report some number for you to see? Yeah, I used to run a digital flow meter. It's good to check if your pump is working. I understand if it just spins just so you can see a visual indication, but I was wondering if it like digitally reports some number. Oh, maybe that's what that thing is. I'm just seeing it. I see a little screen down here, but yeah. The PC has OCD. It's a fidget spinner. It just spins. Okay, so that's what I was thinking. Like, it's just so that you can know if there's flow or not the rate of flow specifically. Okay. The small display object is actually the pump. Okay, yeah. Got it. Yeah, I mean, dude, this thing looks pretty sick. And you got your own, like, little screen up here. I like these screens, but it's kind of hard to fit in an ITX case. And I'm good with my, what's it called? My cooler just having the simple temperature display. But one day, I'll probably have a screen inside of one of my PCs. Oh man, everyone's posting. This is the last one we're going to look at today. Because I do have to get going soon. But this is HDZZ's build with the Be Quiet case on its side. I don't know what case this is specifically, but it's on its side and used as a stand / small table for a Goku figurine, Shenron, headphones, and a controller. No specs listed though. If you could buy a used RTX 4080 Super for $800 and a new 5080 for $1,300, which would you buy? Oof. I'm gonna need a reminder. You got 9800 XT and 9070 XT. Super solid specs. And your graphics card is under less stress because it's sitting vertically. So win-win for that layout. Tech power up. 4080 Super. I'm thinking the 4080 Super without looking at the specific numbers. Yeah, I'm going with 4080 Super over the 5080. You're paying over 50% more for like 10 to 15% performance uplift. I know it's new versus used, but that's the point of the used market, to save money. That 4080 Super for $800 is actually a pretty good deal. Most people aren't selling 4080 Supers for that cheap. Or 5070 Ti for $700. 5070 Ti actually wouldn't be that bad of a grab. I think those have been going. I don't think they're going for 700, have they? Maybe used. 5070 Ti, I've been seeing posts of them going for 750. Like this one, you can get it at Walmart. 750, available to add to cart, sold from PNY, I think. Hopefully it's not a scam third-party seller. Between those two, I'd probably lean towards the 5070 Ti. Because, one, you're getting it new. Second, you're getting just 50 series features. And, yeah, like... So, between the 5080 and the 4080 Super, pick the 4080 Super. But if you can find a 5070, which I've been seeing lots of build a PC posts for around $750 pop up in recent days. Like Newegg has, this one's kind of ugly, but even if it were 800, I think I would lean towards 5070 Ti. The 5070 Ti, I don't know why it got so much hate on release. Probably because it wasn't available or at MSRP. But the price is coming down on them. And it's more reasonable. Like, you're talking about this performs neck and neck with the 4080 Super, except you're getting it new versus used, and it's like the same price. My Micro Center has an open box 9070 XT for $609. I'd rather choose that. Yeah, not everyone is lucky enough to have a Micro Center, unfortunately. Yeah, because 9070 XT, if you can get it for $609 open box, that's pretty killer value, given how close it performs to 4080 Super and 5070 Ti. Okay. Can I get this thing working? Like, hello? I want to show you guys before we log off. Oh, yes, I got it working. Okay. Now let me add it. Add window capture RTSS. Okay, select window. Okay, you guys see this on the screen right here? Let me put it below my camera. Jeez, where's the camera at? Okay. But this, I've been working on revamping my overlays for when I benchmark and stuff. So, I think, oh wait, this, it's showing the lines, but you can't see most of the lines. Is there any other relevant information that you guys would like to see when it comes to watching benchmarks? I do have an updated version. Let me see if I can open that one. It's not going to show on here. I do have an updated version where it shows the watts for both the CPU and the graphics card, so it'll have the power draw. But other than that, like, I think I'm pretty happy with the information that's shown on screen here. So this will be overlaid onto all the benchmarks in the future. I think the next video I post is going to implement this. But I wanted to make the FPS and the average and 1% lows a lot bigger, because that's like the biggest thing that I personally compare when I'm watching side-by-side benchmarks. Like, all right, what are the FPS between the two? Like, I do look at all this other stuff too, but I wanted to make this section bigger. So, let me move this to the side so you can see better. But yeah, any other information that you guys, when you're watching benchmarks, are thinking like, hey, I kind of wish I could see more than what's on the screen right now. Yeah, so like I said, power draw is so this is a version that I had on my NAS, because the benchmarking PC has a version that's updated with the watts. So next to the CPU name and GPU name, I will have the power draw, real-time power draw going. So that has been implemented, but I was wondering if there's anything else that I could put in here. Daniel, do you have a temporary card that you can use, like a cheap 580, 1060, 1070? You know, like, do you have any spare hardware? That's one thing about having cheaper old hardware around that you never ended up selling off, is just to use as backup for circumstances like this, where like you need to sell something and potentially be out of a card for a little bit of time. I'm going to go back to the face cam, but I'm also going to put this on. We're benchmarking the stream, guys. You can see it's a it's the RTX 3080. This is just fake stuff. It's actually what my benchmarking system has in it right now. That's why it has those. This is not representative of my current system specs. This is Riva Tuner with MSI Afterburner. They have an overlay section of it where you could customize it, and it takes some learning to do. But you can do this all in Riva Tuner with MSI Afterburner. Look up guides online on how to do it. There's some people who have some more detailed guides. You're not worried about that as much as being out $600? Well, I'm pretty confident a 4070 Ti would sell for $600. I wouldn't sell it on eBay though. I would sell locally. eBay fees, they're gonna take like, I feel like $80 or something from that, like a significant amount. Yeah. Hardware swap. If you sell on hardware swap, you only have to pay the PayPal fees, which is like 3% or something, right? It's like much lower. And hardware swap people, I swear, they are all up on these 40 series cards every single time. Let me actually take a look. So if we look at 4070 Ti, let's see what people have been selling them for recently. Okay, 4070 Ti. 570 or 525, but that's local. If you ship it to someone, This is a Ti Super 4070 Ti 5 days ago. Oh no, someone's looking for these cards and are looking to pay 300 to 375. Are they nuts? The only card you might be able to get for that would be the 7700 XT. And those are still going for like 400 bucks. The Ti is better than the Super though, so you should be able to get more for it. 4070 Ti Super, Founders Edition Ti, 9 days ago. This person's listing for about 600. Oh, it depends on the model. No, it's a Super Ti. So about, yeah, close to 600. But see, the eBay fees is what's going to get you less money if you list it for 600 compared to hardware swap. If anything, the fact that there's not many 4070 Ti's listed on hardware swap right now might mean that if you listed it, because this is, you get paid instantly through PayPal, goods and service. So yeah, there's this one post, Ti Super. And how much are people asking for Ti Supers? 700? So yeah, if you need the money, quote unquote, instantly, selling on hardware swap gets it right into your PayPal, which gets into your bank in like a couple of days for no fee. And stuff on hardware swap, if it's priced right, moves fast. Like a lot of the stuff that people post on here, if it's priced to move, which I feel like 600 shipped for a 4070 Ti, it would probably move relatively fast. Make a video. I don't know if I'm going to make a video on it. Just because it's kind of a tedious process. It took me to make this Techie Tech, this overlay. From when I started looking into how to do it to getting it to this point, I probably spent a good 5-6 hours on it. And I still don't know the program inside out. Like, I'm constantly having to look up syntax and stuff. So I'm not knowledgeable enough to like make a tutorial on how to do this at the moment. Maybe in the future, but right now I just know enough to make it work brute force. This probably isn't the best way to do it, but you know, it looks pretty. It's all that matters. I probably didn't do it in the most efficient way, in the best you know, syntax and stuff. What are the twins doing? The twins actually, I don't know. What are they doing? Let me see. Maybe they can hang out for the rest. All right, we are going to be in our last 5 to 10 minutes of stream. Mia just kind of woke up here. Lexi is sleeping, or they're trying to put her down for a nap. But Mia's here. Say hello, Mia. You good? You chill? Big yawn, big yawn. They are just chilling. They're getting a little bit better with the sleeping through the night thing. They're sleeping for like 3 to 4 hours now instead of just 2 hours, which is huge. That's the difference of feeding like once in a 6-hour sleeping segment versus like twice. Daniel Hulan says, also, Danny, the market around me isn't that great. People are broke. They just don't usually spend on PC stuff. Just because I'm dumb at times, don't have kids, and more disposable income. I would say, though, I would highly encourage you to do hardware swap over eBay just because I want you to get the most for your money. eBay, them fees, man. Yeah, I feel you there, Daniel. It's a double-sided coin. Having kids is awesome, but well, it's different because we have twins. It, every parent you basically talk to will tell you, once you have kids, for a little bit, your life and hobbies is kind of over. Which, depending on, how much effort you want to put into parenting your kids and spending time with them, uh, I feel like there's still so much that needs to be done to take care of them, as well as how much you need to spend on them, just like keeping them alive. They will always be pooping, so there will always be diapers that will be needed. There will always be baby wipes that will be needed. They're constantly growing, so you need to get clothes unless you can get hand-me-downs. And just appointments. If something is medically wrong with them, medicine, whatever the heck you have to pay for, even if you have insurance, all that stuff. So, yeah, the time and money thing is a huge aspect to kids that we were prepared for, but I would say maybe less prepared for twins, like doubling everything that I just talked about. But we're making it work. Hi, how are you? Hi. Oh, I should have bought a ticket. That is like winning the lottery. That's winning the lottery, the bigger money pit. And it's not a money pit because obviously we're investing in them and their health and stuff like that. But it's just very, very expensive. You are doing so good. I am so proud of you. And you are not. You must have just got fed in your diaper change, girl. You're doing so good. They're coming up on 2 months next week. Actually, in 3 days, they'll be 2 months old. Hopefully, their 2 month checkup is good and everything is looking fine. Hopefully, they're on target for like weight and growth and everything. But yeah, she's camera ready. She knows she's following dad's footsteps. Yeah, have to save for possible medical bills. Yeah, exactly, here in America, like that can bankrupt you. Hi. My kid is old enough to be out on her own now, says Patrick McGovern. Out on her own as in like over 18, or out on her own as in like a teenager who can take care of themselves and hang out with their friends. Either way, it's going to be a long time till these two girls get to that point. I'm so ready to escape from USS, says Arnold G. Where would you go? With as many, I know we like this country has a fair share of problems, but honestly, I don't know if we would ever like realistically uproot. Is it that easy to get like citizenship or like the ability to live elsewhere for the rest of your life? Oh, your wife is third gen Italian, Italy, but if you're both American citizens, how does that work out? Trying to get your citizenship and like, I just feel like that's just a lot of work, which I guess could be worth it depending on how much you hate living in the U.S. God blessed me with an Alaska Native wife, so all their medical bills are covered by the state. the perks, the perks of their ethnicity. Life is cheaper anywhere else. I guess, yeah, if you think of how much it, I think a lot of us take for granted insurance because it's provided by like if you have a, you know, stable career and stuff, how valuable that is. Uh, you like talking about all this stuff, healthcare and politics? Does hardware swap have safety feedback system? It does. There's seller feedback and buyer feedback. And if you use PayPal goods and services, I mean, it's PayPal, so it usually sides with the buyer, unfortunately. So if you're selling, you just want to sell to someone who has good rep. You don't want to sell to someone with no rep and then they end up saying you sent them a broken card and scamming you. But I would say hardware swap. I have a lot of, I think I have like 70 something rep on hardware swap. So I've made a fair amount of transactions using hardware swap over the years, and haven't had problems. What's Lexi doing? She's just upstairs chilling. My mother-in-law is here, and I think she was trying to pat her and put her down for a nap. We're trying to get these girls off the same schedule so that they don't wake up at the same time in the middle of the night to feed. Because feeding two babies at 3 a.m. crying hysterically is not fun. But if their naps are offset, then you could feed one, put her down, and then when the next one wakes up, then you could do that, and it makes it a lot more manageable for one parent while the other one sleeps. Your 4070 Ti is one of the sought after ones. It's a tough one, mint condition. Yeah, if anything, you might be able to list it for like 650. Oh, what's wrong? What's wrong, love? Are you bored? We might have to end stream soon. She's getting bored. Yeah? Here, let me switch positions. Let me switch positions. Girl, why are you wearing like no clothes right now? I know it is hot outside, but we got the AC pumping. They need the same everything. We're trying not to give them the same everything. We dress them up differently. They have different hairstyles. I'm going to try to get them to build their first gaming PC as young as possible. Get them into it nice and young. Are they fraternal or identical? They're identical. One single embryo. Yeah, one can be Team AMD and the other can be Team Intel NVIDIA. I gotta have their choosing ceremony where I lay out the boxes of all the different companies and they get to pick if they align with AMD, NVIDIA, or Intel. Yes, just them in green and red, you know. You good? You burping? Hmm? How do you tell someone that want to learn keyboard and mouse to go about learning, like how you train your kids on it? How you tell someone that want to learn keyboard and mouse to go about learning, like how you train your kids on it? There's so many free typing courses online. Like there's so many websites that you can go to learn how to type. You just got to do it. Or you just are chronically online enough that you just pick it up. Like most of the people that I know learned how to type because they used AOL Instant Messenger and MSN Messenger and stuff back in the early 2000s. Like I didn't really learn from like a typing class or anything like that. I just learned from playing computer games and going on the internet and stuff like that. But yeah, if you want to, I do want to start slowly. Girl, why are you, what are you doing? Trying to kill yourself? Throw your head back so hard. I do want to properly learn how to type though. My typing is not what would be considered proper because my fingers on the home row, they don't, sometimes I use fingers that aren't supposed to touch certain keys to do it. Like I overreach to the other side when I need to stay on the half with one hand, etc. So yeah. Now you need a third for Intel versus AMD versus NVIDIA. Oh man, there's talks of a third, but I'm just like, we are basically trying to keep our heads above the water with these two. I can't even imagine a third right now. It is crazy. A GPU reveal party. Question: is it worth it to upgrade now from a 5800 XTD to a newer CPU? I have a 9070 XT that I picked up recently. Ronnie, I think that graphics card pairs well with that CPU. Oh, you okay? You okay? Are you hungry? Oh, we gotta end soon. But I think the 5800 XTD, if you're trying to save money, use it for as long as you can. Upgrade later when you start feeling like, hey, this doesn't feel like it's performing well. But I would imagine if you're playing AAA games at like the highest settings at 1440p. What's up? I'm trying to see if I can make her not cry, but I think she's just fussing a bit. Yeah, I think she's good. She's not crying hysterically. Here, she wants me to walk around. But yeah, I think the 5800 XTD, if a friend or family member of mine had one of those, I would encourage them to keep it and use it for a while until they felt like, oh my goodness, this is unbearable. I need to upgrade my CPU. You know what I'm saying? Would you have a second set of twins for the third? You know, no way, Jose. I could not imagine two sets of twins. That would be crazy. Because that is like supposedly like genetics or something. But yeah, even though we don't have twins in any of our families. Gordon is dating himself. I learned typing in high school on a typewriter. How old are you, Gordon? You might be one of the older people in the chat. Ronnie Pena gave a $10 super chat. Oh, I just answered you. You didn't have to super chat. Good. Thank you for the info. Congrats on the twins. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for the super chat. I don't use enough fingers. I wonder if they still have Mavis Beacon. Mavis Beacon typing. Yeah. I would just go to like online typing lessons or something on Google. There's so many of them. And, you know, with how good you have to imagine what type of online typing software we had to use back in like the 90s and early 2000s. Like my mom bought us typing software, but now I'm looking online. It's like everything you could do in the browser. Like why do you have to pay for this? Well, back then you had to pay because, you know, the internet was a different place. But yeah. Patrick McGovern. Been thinking about upgrading from a 5800 XT myself, and after much research, it seems like if you're gaming at 1440p or higher, it's not really that much of a difference. Yep, exactly that. Mario Teaches Typing was legit. I never was able to play that. My brother-in-law's PSU just died. It was a Thermaltake 700 watt running at 3070. I kind of wanted to replace his GPU for him too. That is a cool brother-in-law of you if you're gonna replace both of those for him, unless he's paying for it and you're just helping him out, which is still nice of you to do. But running at 3070, I think 3070s are still okay graphics cards. Yeah. It has 8 gigabytes of VRAM, but aside from the cherry pick titles, we're gonna have to see these upcoming titles that everyone keeps talking about that 8 gigabytes not gonna be enough for. It's one thing to push people away from buying new 8 gigabyte graphics cards, right? But people who have 3070s, you're talking to people who've had that for like 4 or 5 years. It's not like, you know, that necessarily was a bad choice at the time. 3070 was a very popular card. A lot of people have used it and enjoyed the crap out of it. So I would say for a person who is trying to save money and doesn't have a ton to spend on PC parts, a 3070 is still a viable graphics card. It's still performance-wise, you know, does well. You can still play games at 1440p pretty easily, except for like the couple of titles that are very irresponsible with how they manage their memory. Kenny D is still enjoying their 3070. Your school was poor? Oh, that was in 99. You were on a typewriter still? Wait, 41? That was in... Oh, girl, what are you doing? In 99, I was 10 years old. I felt like we definitely had computers then. But okay, I think she's ready to either eat or have her diaper changed. So I gotta go, guys. Thank you for the stream. I had fun tonight. Oh my goodness. Okay. We gotta go. You guys have a great rest of your week and great weekend coming up. Okay, we go upstairs. And I will catch you in the next one. There's not gonna be a video this weekend, but I'm aiming for next weekend. So I'll see you guys in next week's stream. You guys take care. Okay.